camp. And we want to get you started doing that as soon as we can, and we will. But before we can do that, we got a few things to cover that's going to ensure that everybody has the best time possible in their time here at camp. Is that all right? That's going to be just a few rules and some of our standards as far as how you conduct yourself in your time here at camp. Okay? Because we do not want you guys to get in the way of anyone else's fun, and we don't want you to get in the way of your own fun. So we've set up some rules and some policies to help us do that. And I'm going to run through that, and hopefully this is the last time we have to talk through any of this kind of stuff, and we'll just get started having fun and be done with this, okay? So here we go. So you don't get in the way of anybody else's fun, we have some requirements on how you treat other people. And we're going to say, hey, you can't disrespect other campers, and disrespecting other campers would be things like fighting. Okay, that makes sense. That's easy. Bullying. This is a big one, guys. This is a pet peeve of every staff person here, is bullying. We have a zero tolerance for bullying around here. Is everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
I figured. No bullies allowed at Kanakuk. If you know of a bully, or you know of somebody being bullied in your time here at camp, make sure you tell us, or tell a staff person. Okay, you have a responsibility to help us be aware of that so we can put a stop to it. In fact, your counselors, they're going to be asking you periodically, hey, you doing okay? You feel safe here? And you have a responsibility to answer your counselors and let them know, yeah, I feel safe or I don't feel safe. And your counselors will then be able to deal with it. Okay? So there'll be no bullying here at camp. Shoving. We aren't going to do any shoving. That's easy. Name calling. I know that's common with guys our age, but right here at Kanakuk, guys, we're not going to have name calling. All right? Someone gets their feelings hurt. How many here have been called names before? And you know how that feels, don't you? You don't want to make other people feel that way, and so we're going to make sure that we don't. Hey, out. Making fun of others, same kind of thing. We're not going to do that. Laughing at others, spitting on others, leaving people out on purpose. Okay? We want everyone to be involved. And so you have a job in your cabin to make sure that everybody in your cabin is involved. You're going to have the most fun in your cabin if everybody is involved in the activities that you're at and participating. You're going to have a blast, okay? Inappropriate physical contact or inappropriate physical touch. I think you guys are all very aware of what inappropriate touch or inappropriate contact would be. We're not going to have any of that here at camp, obviously. If you don't know what I'm talking about there, you can grab me afterwards or ask your counselor what that means, but I think we all know what that means, and we just won't tolerate that here, okay? If you know of that happening, or something like that happens, make sure you tell a counselor or tell someone, okay? So that's disrespecting other campers. Disrespecting staff and camp. You can't have that either. That would be just being defiant to authority. Being defiant to authority is going, hey, I know what I'm supposed to do, but I'm just not going to do it. I don't think we'll have a problem with that, but if we do, there's going to be consequences, just like these other things. A consistent negative attitude. So just over and over, you just kind of have a negative attitude. Maybe you're not doing big things wrong, but you just always have a bad attitude about the activities or the things we're doing. That's hard to do here because there's so much fun to have. But if you have a negative attitude, we're gonna have consequences for that. A pattern of not following instructions. So again, you know what you're supposed to do, and just over and over little things, and you just don't do it. Refusal to participate or cooperate. What that means is you say, hey, I know I'm supposed to be at archery and I'm supposed to be trying to learn to shoot a bow, but I'm just not going to. I'm going to sit on the side. Okay? We want everybody to participate and everybody to try everything. Now, there's some things here that are a little bit scary to try the first time, like the zip line or the tower. Okay? Now, you can see as other people are getting excited about it, they're really fun. And it's going to be scary the first time you step up there to go off the zip line, and that's okay. And you can go, you know what? Not today. I don't feel like it. You're not going to be in trouble for that. That's all right. These scary things, sometimes you got to work up to it. You can go, hey, I want to try again tomorrow, and your counselor will say, great. We'll hook you up to the zip line again, and we'll try it again tomorrow. Okay? That's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about, hey, you're going up to play basketball, and you go, no, I'm not going. Okay? There'll be consequences for that. Destroying facility or property. So that'd be breaking things on purpose, or writing your name in places you shouldn't write it. In your cabin, you probably noticed that people have written their names in your cabin and they're here. Some of you might even have found your dad's or brother's names in there. That's a really neat tradition that we have around here. And so what we want to do is we want to honor that by just writing our name one time inside our cabin. So we aren't going to write our name outside our cabin anywhere. And some of you guys have seen maybe names around camp where people have done that. They've had to have consequences for that. So I don't want you guys to have consequences. So make sure write your name one time inside your cabin and you'll be good. Or sometimes kids would want to go to the bathroom and make a mess. And there's going to be big consequences for that. So make sure you're not doing anything along those lines. Okay? Also, we all share the same bathrooms. Everybody figure that out?
Yep.
And so what we want to do is all of us have a responsibility to take care of those bathrooms. It's not just the maintenance guys' role, it's all of our role as well. And so when you go to the bathroom, make sure you flush when you're done. That's pretty simple, right? I'm sure that's not different than what anybody has at home. Okay? Make sure you flush at the bathrooms, okay? So we're going to take care of our facility or property. We're not going to skip class or be late to class on purpose. I think that's an easy one. Inappropriate language. I think everybody here knows what inappropriate language is. Okay? We're not going to have inappropriate language. Dishonesty. Okay? Lots of different types of dishonesty. Lying would be one. Cheating. Stealing. Having contraband. What's contraband? Anybody help me out with contraband? Yeah. Yeah, something you're not supposed to have. So things we're not supposed to have here at camp, like electronic devices, we just don't want those to get broken or stolen or anything like that. So we're not going to have electronic devices, shouldn't have money, shouldn't have any food in our cabins, shouldn't have books or magazines that are inappropriate. Any of that kind of stuff, that's contraband. Today you get a free pass, okay? So if you have some of that stuff in your trunk or maybe didn't realize or maybe you're thinking about hiding it during your time here, today's a free pass. If you give it to your counselor, there'll be no consequences, okay? Make sure you get that stuff turned in today if you have any of it. Secrets. Here's another one. Is secrets. We're not going to have secrets here at camp, okay? And what I mean by that is a secret between me and one other person, and nobody else knows that. So that's not really a healthy or a good thing to have those type of secrets. In other words, you can tell your counselor something that's maybe private, okay? Like this is something that's going on at home, or this is something that is bothering me. You can tell your counselor, but know that your counselor is not going to have a secret. So they may tell your other counselor, they may tell your parents. There's a good chance that they'll be able to tell your parents, because if it's something that would help you to tell your parents, they're going to. But we're not going to keep secrets. So if someone asks you to keep a secret, go, hey, we don't keep secrets at camp, okay? We're never supposed to have secrets just between just me and one other person. So if you tell me, there's a good chance that it's going to be told to someone else, okay? So no secrets, that's a good thing. Then just violation of any other camp rules, okay? Any other camp rules, you guys will know what those are, you'll learn them, and there'll be consequences for it. How we do the consequences thing is if you operate outside these boundaries or operate outside these policies and rules, then what we do is we have consequences. What we do is that instead of playing with the other kids, we actually remove you from the cabin. So you're not interfering with their fun or your own fun. We just remove you from the cabin, and you do some work around camp as opposed to going and having fun. And depending on what you've done, will determine how long you go and work. Okay? So that's how the consequences side of things work. I mentioned that your counselors are going to be asking if you feel safe and secure here and making sure that you're doing well there. Here's the deal. If you ever feel unsafe or you ever feel threatened or you ever feel kind of uncomfortable or things don't feel right or there's something that's happened that you need to tell somebody, all right, here's your option. You can tell your counselor. That's your first option, okay? Let your counselors know. They're there for you. If for some reason you feel like you can't tell your counselors, there's guys called unit coordinators or UCs. And if you haven't met them already, they'll be coming around to your cabins so you'll know who your UCs are. There's 4 of them. There's D. Hall, there's Cooper Hanning, there's Cole Fakes, and there's Mason Jones. It'll be one of those 4 guys. And you can tell those guys. And if you feel uncomfortable telling one of them for some reason, you have another group of people you can tell, and that's our leadership team. You'll be meeting a lot of them. But you know, Will Blitch was up here giving the Devo this morning. He's one. Brett Wiley, Richard Cole, Cooper Merrill, Drew Fitzgerald, Benji Majors. All those guys, those are part of our leadership team, and you can tell them if you feel like it. If you feel uncomfortable telling them for some reason, you can tell a director. I'm one of them. I'm Joel. If I haven't met you, I'm excited to. Chris Coops, he was up here just a moment ago, and he would be glad to talk to you. And then there's Matt